Hey, it's Jocelyn. I'm super enthused about making videos today, so I thought I'd just pop out another one. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about why do you feel rejected? So first of all, nobody can reject you if it's not something that you're already rejecting. We really need to understand that really it's just a mirroring process of us being disconnected from something that we're wanting to be. Like, we want someone else to accept something that we haven't accepted. And I know we all kind of know this, but I hope that I can kind of dive deeper into this in a way that helps. So, really thinking about it, like, for example, I've always been pretty self conscious about my dancing, but I'm actually a pretty good dancer. I really feel like that. I mean, not in this like actual really good way, but more in this just kind of like silly, totally me, fun kind of way, you know. And it's great. Like when I start just really getting past the self-consciousness and the hesitancy, because really that's just like a type of disconnect from what I'm doing. It's me not actually being connected to my own movements, is what would make anyone judge your dancing, really. Because if you're totally connected to what you're doing and you're owning it and you're just dancing away, no one really criticizes you. If you notice that, when you're just like feeling really good and you're just super confident, you're dancing or singing or I don't know, whatever you maybe feel self conscious about sometimes, but you're in a moment where you're not, you notice that no one is mean to you, no one rejects you or whatever. So, really, if people are being mean to you, it's to show you where you're being mean to yourself or where you're just not fully integrated. And so, we really need to realize where we're already rejecting ourselves. Because even when we're like pursuing somebody, if somebody rejects you right off the bat, when you like try to pursue them romantically, it's probably because you've already rejected yourself before even asking them. And so really they're just kind of feeling this disconnect, and it feels kind of weird where you're trying to form a connection but you're already disconnected from the situation before you even got into it. And they have no choice but to be kind of like, "No, I'm sorry." Like what, it's a weird dynamic because it's this like the, it's just weird, like trying to put it out there like you're trying to connect, but yet you're so disconnected and so just like self-protective, and it just doesn't work unless the other person somehow has the mirroring insecurity where maybe they have like the same kind of thing. I have to actually think about that because I didn't know I was going to mention that. So basically, if you're afraid that they're going to reject you, and maybe I don't know, now I really feel like I have to ponder that because I'm still figuring out how the mirroring totally works. But yeah, they probably have some kind of like, I don't want to say complimentary insecurity, but that's kind of what popped in my head. But that's kind of like what it would be, is like a insecurity that's compatible with yours. Then they might not reject you, and you'll somehow kind of learn this lesson through your connection with them and learn to accept yourself in a way that you didn't normally through the way that they treat you or something like that. So there could be some kind of lesson in that. Otherwise, for the most part, people will just flat out reject you if you're already rejecting yourself, and then it just kind of comes back to this belief of like, I knew they were going to say no. And that's just it. That was your belief, and that was the energy you carried. And really what it was is you shifted yourself into a lower vibration, and you lifted them up, making them energetically incompatible with you, to where you weren't on the same dimension even, really, or same frequency, because you're making them like they're just something like almost like to worship. Whether you realize that you're putting that energy out there or not, you're kind of doing that if you don't honestly feel like they're going to say yes. You automatically put that dynamic there. And they might kind of be like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I'd like to go on a date with you sometime. And then they don't make it happen. They're still rejecting you, even though they're trying to be nice. And you notice that. But if you're just really confident and you just go, you know what, we're all people. There's no real reason that this person should reject me. But it's a true confidence. It's not this kind of like I can have whatever I want kind of egotistic type of thing. It's just this awareness of that we're all connected and that no one is really out of reach unless you somehow make them out of reach by shifting your energy all weird. And yeah, so just realize where you're rejecting yourself and realize that any feeling of rejection is something that you're doing to yourself. And people are mirroring that to you by rejecting you back. Without realizing it, they're helping you. They're helping you see where you need to accept yourself before they can do that for you. And I know this is kind of an annoying message to hear, because when I first was always rejecting myself, I didn't even really like to hear that I reject myself, whatever. You know, I was just like, no, I don't. Because I always thought I loved myself, and I was blind to where I didn't love myself. And when you're really like honestly wanting to do the work within, or do the love within is really what it is. When you're really honestly wanting to do that, the things you were blind to before will present themselves, because this inner work will slowly happen kind of unconsciously, but it'll happen faster and more intensely if you want it to, the more that you tune into it. So I hope that some of that helped in some way, and that there was enough clarity to help you actually be able to pinpoint and figure out how to do that for yourself. Sometimes it's hard to explain when you just kind of, you do it and you know, and then you have to try to figure out how to explain how to undo something. So yeah, I mean, ask for further clarification, and I can do the best I can to see if I can help guide the way a little bit more, because I feel like I'm getting a lot better at that. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I'll say this in every video, but I'm not perfect. I am still in the process of all of this. I'm talking about things that I'm presently working on myself. So I don't think I would ever care to talk about something that I feel like I've arrived at, because it would be uninteresting to me, to be honest. Like, if you feel like you're over something, which is a block, because we're never really over anything. I feel like it's always this ongoing process, and as soon as you feel like you've arrived, or you've accomplished something and you've reached some kind of spiritual mountaintop, then you're just blind, and you don't realize that it's a never-ending process, but not in a bad way, in a fun way. There's always more to explore, and we need to always be open and receptive to that, and understanding that everybody has something valuable to say and to offer, and to never have that type of mindset where you don't feel like someone else is gonna offer something to you, or you're just like in the position of like, I'm the teacher and this person is the person learning. They have so much to learn from me, but there's nothing I could learn from them. Like, what the heck? I learn things from kids all the time. It's amazing. Because as we get older, we actually unlearn so much valuable things of how to actually have fun and be connected, and like the most important things in life. You look at like little kids, and they don't have the same inhibitions. Because all of this stuff is like learned programming and things that we need to get rid of, and rejection is a huge part of it. So anyways, let's just keep on keeping on, I guess. Okay.